Hello and welcome to Hexed Encountered. I'm Joe. In this video, we will be doing the playthrough portion of the look at Alone in the Mountains, which is an expansion for Mark H. Walker's 85 Graveyard of Empires. And I should say, a first look at the game and also the setup. So this is the scenario. It is set up. If you did not watch the previous video, you might want to check it out to get some kind of setup information on how everything works. Well, maybe not necessarily how it all works, but how you set things up for play. So what we're going to do here is we are going to get underway. This is a 6-turn scenario. Our Soviet forces are going to enter down here, and the Mujahideen, which are going to be controlled by the AI or the bot system, are here. These are called mystery markers, and so the key there is the human player does not know what these actually are. We have a cup full of chits, which will cause events to happen and also reveal these units and figure out who they are. So the Soviets have the initiative here to start. So they drew 4 cards, and I have my 4 cards right here. So as is usual in the base game, you can play the cards for any of the things that are on here. So you've got actions. Some of them would be reactions. None of these are actually reactions. These are all actions. Although this one's not. This one is a reaction, basically. But we also have a power here as well. So you can use them for whatever you want. But since we have 2 move and fires, that might be the best way. I don't want to use this move because it has I don't know if I want to use the power, and it also has a fire on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to use one of these move and fires. I'm going to put that over here because this deck is our normal deck. This deck is our solitaire deck. Okay. So now we do have a unit up here. He's on high ground, so he has visibility, I think, and I might have to check this to see what this terrain does. So let's take a look at that really quick. Okay, so that would be crops. So here we see crops. So we find crops on our list here, crops. And line of sight, clear, block, 0, see note. 2 from vehicle, clear, leg blocked. So they should be safe here, and then we'll be behind these trees here, and then we have the crops again will be blocked. We're going to activate one of our units with a leader, and it's a move and fire, but I'm going to just play it. I'm just going to probably end up just using the move portion. So our leader here, Glukov, has a movement factor of 4, while the rifle squad that's with him is only a 3. But because they're with him, they get the 4. Now, we have a road, and if we look at our terrain chart again, road is 1 for leg. But if you spend all impulse MPs on a road, you get +1 movement point. Now, because of the nature of this particular move, with it being a move and fire, we can move 3. Now that, we would go 1, 2, right, which would be half of his 4, and then we get 1 additional, so we could go here. At least I think that's how it works. Again, I'm not 100% sure, and maybe I should check that real quick. I don't want to refer to the rule book too much. So now the distance to this guy here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is an HE attack. So we would look at our HE range modifiers. The range is 5. You can see rifle is 0. So there's no bonus or penalty for this range. So we can shoot at that. Now, they are in cover, and that cover, being woods, gives them a cover factor of 1. Now it says hex blocks, but that would be the hex behind it. They do get the cover factor of 1, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the range, -1. Their fire factor is a 2. Now Glukov is a hero, And for heroes, they cannot shoot out to 5. So he cannot participate in the attack, but the rifle can. So he's going to fire. We're going to get one action card, and we look here, and it's a green hit. Now, the effect of a hit on a mystery marker is it reveals it. So you flip it over to the revealed side. They also get a shaken marker. Now, in addition, because this is now revealed, the reason you keep the revealed on here is because it still uses its activation shapes and colors here. So that stays, and obviously they are shaken. Now we pull a chit out of the cup, or counter rather, and we get the RPD. So the RPD is this unit. It is now shaken, and I'm going to tuck it under. You can also do something like this. These hexes are big enough that you could actually do something like this. So that is that hex now. So we have a shaken RPD. It is revealed. It will activate on this triangle or the green circle. So now we need to do the bot's impulse. So we draw a card from the Solitaire deck, and we look at it, and it's got shapes on it. So adjacent means if there's an adjacent Soviet unit, then that would have an impact on the activation. So we have a green triangle and a green circle. So they have a green circle, they have a green circle. So both of these units will be activated. We're supposed to use this card for more than one thing. I forgot about that. So the first thing that happens is because this guy is shaken, he gets flipped to ops complete. So that's his only action. They always rally. So now we have to worry about this guy. So now you see here on the card our stance. The stance for the Mujahideen in this scenario is defensive. So you have an order here, which is move. Okay, so move towards the enemy, brash. So let's unpack that. Okay, so they are directed to move and brash. So brash is, as you may guess, a more aggressive form of movement. So they would move, and it says enemy. So they would move, see down here, it says enemy brash. Now, the game does come with a decision matrix for the bot. And you can see we're in brash, and the movement is towards the enemy. So we're looking down here. Advance towards nearest enemy if there are multiple nearest enemies. Use fastest means, enter hex, initiate assault. So there's steps to go through. Now, the nearest enemy is this one. He's the only one on the board, so he would move towards him, which would mean moving to E3. Now, this blocks line of sight. He can't see them, and they can't see him. He gets 3 movement factor for being in the brash stance. Now, because this is a stream hex, it costs 2 movement points to move into this hex, because we have a stream in the middle here. It would also cost 2 to move here, which would be 4. He only has 3, so he has to stop here. And we can put a moved marker to indicate that he has moved. So we now flip back to the Soviet side. We have 3 cards, so we draw 1 more to get back to 4, and we draw the first end turn card. So we'll put that to the side. Or actually, I'll put it up here so it's visible. The next card we draw is Bullet Storm and Fast Move. So Fast Move would move 1 hex of eligible units, add 1 to movement's factor here. So we're going to move 1. We have 3 rifle squads and an RPK squad, all of which have a 3 movement rating. So we will take we're going to take the RPK and go 1, 2, 3, and I think we'll stop here. And so we used, should I use fast move? I'm going to use fast move even though I didn't go the full distance. And whoops, wrong pile. All right, and he gets a moved. I'm just going to put ops complete on those 2 and a moved on the RPK, like so. I think technically, well, no, because it was a move and fire. So that's it. we'll keep our 3 cards for the next turn. We draw our next solitaire card. It is a black circle. So black circle is this guy right here. Now, again, our defensive is fire. The only problem being I don't think he has line of sight to fire at anybody. Because, again, these guys are blocked because they're adjacent to these crops. So that blocks line of sight for leg units. So even though he's got higher elevation, he still can't see them because they're behind the crops. Okay, so the unit cannot activate because the order it was given to fire is not an order it can actually do. So I think that swings it back to us. It essentially acts as kind of like a pass. So we still have our 3 cards. We draw a new one. We get a bullet storm and ambush. So bullet storm, we don't really have any use for that. So we're going to use our move and fire again. And we'll take our rifle squad. We'll put this card out. They can only move 1, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just going to drop a moved marker on them. I don't think you round up because, oh wait, they're on a road, sorry. So they can move here. And then we'll put a moved marker on them. Then we'll draw our solitaire. We get red triangle, which again is this unit. The order again is fire, which they cannot do because they don't have visibility to any of our units. So we'll go back to the Soviets again. Draw another card. We get another bullet storm and a move this time. So we will play the move card. And we will take our rifle squad here. And they can move 3. So he can go 1. He could go here, which would reveal him to them, I believe. And they would then be able to do opportunity fire. You know what? Let's do it. So they're going to move that. That would complete their move. Actually, in checking the rules, it says whenever a player unit moves 2 consecutive hexes, both of which are in the line of sight and range of an unshaken solo bot unit, then they would be eligible for opportunity fire. This hex is not visible to that unit, and this one is. So that's only 1. So I'm going to play that as they just moved, and they did not draw any opportunity fire. And we'll just leave it at that. I mean, this unit can still activate and fire at them anyway. It just won't be opportunity fire. This time we get green triangle and black circle. Black circle, of course, again applies here. That's a red circle. We don't have any green triangle. So again, it's a fire order. And the target is largest. There's only 1 target, so he's going to fire there. So result, heavy cover 0, no cover 4. So you get your result right off this card. And you can see heavy cover. They're not in heavy cover. They're in regular cover. So that would be 0. So no hits. So he would now be marked as fired. Actually, I was wrong and I really screwed this up. Because had I known this, I wouldn't have done it. The cover factor for this terrain is 0. So that would be 4 hits. Now 4 hits will kill this unit. First hit shakes, second hit reduces, third hit eliminates. So that unit has been destroyed. So that was a very bad move on my part. And very good move on the, or very good draw here on this card because again, as you can see with no cover. So heavy cover is cover factor 2. Covers have a cover factor 1 and no cover is cover factor 0. So they have no cover. So I've lost one of my units already. I have 1 unit left. Let's draw our card. Bloodlust and First Fire. The First Fire would be used. Oh, I should have played this. You know what? I'm going to play this. It's cheating, but I'm going to play this because I should have remembered I had this. And since I screwed up anyway. So that would subtract 2, which would give them 2 hits, which would shake and reduce them. So I'm going to put that there. I'm going to return our moved there, and we're also going to put a shaken on there. So we'll do it this way. There. All right, so that's a little out of order, and I get to draw another card because that would have left me with two, so I would have drawn two. Now I have Punishing Fire, Canister. So now I can use the Bloodlust card to rally the unit, but do not place an ops complete marker. So he's going to remain shaken, but we're just going to, no, actually, that's wrong. He's going to remain moved, but we're gonna remove the shaken marker, and we don't have to place ops complete. All right. So that was their move, and now we go back to the Solitaire bot. They have one unit left, and it is red circle. But because we have a circle and we have no other EUs, no other eligible units, this unit will get activated by this card. Defensive is fire again, and again they don't have a target. So we'll draw another. Now we'll activate our. We'll draw again. We still have one unactivated unit. We have a fast move, so we can add one to their movement factor, which would give them a 4. So they could go 1, 2, 4. Okay, and so they are now marked as moved. Let me discard that card, put moved on there. And we'll draw another Solitaire card. And we have green triangle, which is not what they have. So I'm done and passing. So now we'll draw another card. It's a red triangle, so it matches the color, and they'll use this one. Again, they have fire, which they can't do. Yeah, they can't. Next card, we have a circle, another fire card. Then we have the red circle, and we have a move. So this is what they'll use, and the move is objective cautious. So as far as objective, I don't know that there is an objective. Let me check the scenario, but I don't think this one actually has an objective. All right, so let's look at our decision matrix for this. So it's cautious, and it's objective. So we look, and you would treat it as a fire. It's that would not do anything for us. Anyway, advance towards the nearest objective. The problem is we don't have one. So use terrain. If neither exists but unable to fire, pass. If unable to reach objective, halt in closest hex. If unable to reach objective. So we're always going to get a move. Anyway, I don't know that I should keep drawing cards. Maybe we should just say they pass, because we drew like 5 cards to get to that. So I'm just gonna, well, let's see what the next card says. So it's a circle, we can use it. Now, in terms of the stance, it's a fire card again, which does us no good. So the next one is a fire card, and the next one is a move card. Enemy brash. Okay, that actually helps us some. So now they can move towards the nearest enemy, which would be this hex here, I suppose. So they get a movement factor of 3. To go here would be 2. And the next one would also be 2. I'm going to mark them as moved and have them stop there. And that will end the turn, because there are no more units that can be activated. So in the reserve phase, we'd be able to move units, but we can't. So we're just going to go right into the cleanup phase, which just involves removing all of our markers. Now that completes one turn. So, I mean, we'll just pull these off, right? Like we would normally. All right. So that would end the turn, and we'd go to the next turn. Now, the number of end turn cards you would draw at the end of each turn is, well, let me rephrase. To end a turn in this particular scenario, you need 2 end turn cards. We got 1. So I used the consecutive pass rule, basically, which I may have just been better off doing earlier, I guess, because we kept drawing fire after fire after fire. It's not a big deal because you just shuffle these when the deck runs out anyway, and there's still a decent amount of cards left. Okay, so we would put the end turn back into the deck and shuffle it. So I will do that here. We'll do a little riffle shuffle here. I'm not going to be overly concerned about it, but I did shuffle it back in. Now, the next thing you would do is determine initiative for the next turn. And the way that works in this is you'll draw a card and look at the targeting number. And if it's greater than the number of MM or mystery markers on the board, of which there are 4, then the Mujahideen get the initiative. If it's less than or equal to, then the Soviets would get the initiative. So we flip the card. And it's less than. So the Soviets would have initiative again. The initiative marker is already set to their side. I was supposed to discard all my cards except one, so I was going to keep the fire and power cards so that those two get discarded. I draw 3 new cards. 1, 2, well, look at that. Fire, move, power, fire, move, power, fire, move, power, bullet storm. All right, so this is good. This is good. We've got multiple options here. Now, the interesting thing is this guy, his HE factor is only 1, but their cover factor we now know is 0. So that would be something we would take into account there. I could also move. I could also use a power. We have these guys that can again attack up here because they are revealed. So maybe we should do that. What I think I'm going to actually do is we're going to use Glukov's power, right? So here on Glukov's counter, and my autofocus is not working, right here, he's got the mortar power. So we will use that. Whoops, drop that. So we're going to play this for the power. I'm going to put this out, and he's going to call in a mortar on this hex right here. Now, it's a 3 HEF. Whoops. Now it's 3 HEF right here. But you have to roll for accuracy. So this will be the first time we'll have to use our handy-dandy single die that's with the game. It's on target on a 3 to 6, and it's off on a 1, 2. So it's a 3. So the HE factor is 3, but the cover for the woods is 1. So we draw 2 cards. And we get 2 green hits with those 2 cards. And artillery hits on green, so that means that they get 2 hits again, or not again, this time, which will shake and reduce them. So I'll put that there. So they are shaken. Now Glukov gets an ops complete. And the rifle and the RPK are still available to attack on the next activation if I want to attack these guys. So now we'll draw for the Solitaire. And we've got a black circle. So our black circle unit is over here. Our order is fire. Now he does have a target. So we look at the target, lowest cover factor. Their cover factor is 0. He could also see these guys. Their cover factor is a 1. So he would choose to attack this one. And the result, no cover, and it says reveal. So no hits, reveal means he gets revealed. So we flip him over. And we'll draw a chit, or a counter. I keep saying chit, but it's a counter. And it's a rifle squad. So that we have a revealed rifle squad that has fired. Okay, back to us. We've got 3 cards left. We'll draw 1. It's a fire. I'm getting all the fire move cards. So we're going to do fire here with these 2 units at the range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They get a cover factor of 1. We only need 1 hit to destroy that unit. So the fire factor is 2. The RPK for the HE range is at 5. It's 0. So still 0. Their power is intensive fire. The RPK does not have a power, but it does have an ability, as does the rifle, but the rifle doesn't apply in this situation. That's spraying fire, which would allow them to distribute hits evenly, but there's only one unit there, so we don't have to worry about that. Now, we could also play the power card for them, which would make it intensive fire, which would give them a +1 on the HEF, but we already got 4. So I'm hoping I can get 4. I'll save the power card. I'm hoping I can get 4 on one of my hits. So we have a green hit, which would, again, that is enough to destroy this unit. So they are destroyed. Now we go back to the bot. We get a red triangle. Now we've got, this guy can't be activated, and he has a triangle. The color matches here, so we can use that. Now that says RE, there you go, RE, which is random event. So for the random event, I think we pull the next card to look at the random event, and it says scenario designated event. So let's look for our scenario designated event in our book. The scenario designated event, given RPD or an RPG if a Soviet vehicle is on the map, which it is not, squad weapon, to the Mujahideen rifle unit closest to a Soviet unit. So that would have to be this guy. So he's going to get a squad weapon, which is a special thing used in the Solitaire game, and they would get an RPD, which is a machine gun. So they're going to get this guy, which gives them an additional 1 HEF. So they're going to get this, and it's going to go with them in this hex. So I'm just going to put this here, and I'll keep the fired unit. So they pick up a squad weapon based on that event. So now we go back to the Soviets, and we draw another card, and we get panic and retreat. So this would be reactions. And we can play after any attack against a non-hero infantry unit. So we're not going to do that. Oh, I forgot to mark these guys as fired from last turn. Let's play the fire card, and we're going to play the power card as well, and have this unit attack. Well, I think that's good because it's up the spine. We're going to have him attack this unit right here. So he gets a +1 HEF, so his 2 becomes a 3. They have no cover. They're in open terrain. So we're going to draw 3 cards. First one's yellow. That's not a hit. Second one is red. Also not a hit. Third one does not have one. I think we have to draw again. And we get a hit. So they're shaken. And he's fired. Solitaire card. Okay, we got red circle, red triangle, so that's this guy. Fire. Now again, he does not have a target. So they pass. So now we go and we draw 2 cards. One, Command Ops, which draws a card and gain 2 additional actions. Well, I don't really have action cards right now. So I need to draw another card anyway. And I have artillery. So we can drop artillery on somebody. So we're going to play the artillery card. And we'll use this guy as the spotter, I guess. And we'll have them attack this hex. And it attacks the adjacent 2 adjacent, so we could say here and here. It doesn't really matter, except that we're going to put a barrage marker down, which I think technically I was supposed to put this here from the other barrage. Although it's mortars, I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'm going to play it like it's artillery. So we're going to roll here. We have to roll for accuracy, and we got a 3 again. So it is accurate. And now we have to draw our cards. So it's a 3 HEF. There is no cover because they're in crops. So no hit, hit, destroy. 1 hit. So the 1 hit will shake them. And now we go back to the bot and we draw a card, and it's black triangle, which would be none of these guys, so they pass again because we can't match the color or they're ineligible, and these two are both circles, and neither of them are black. So let's draw another. Well, let's throw that, and we'll draw two cards, and we have two actions if we want them. So, oh, we get a reload and fire, so that's useful. So that'll be one of our actions, reload and fire. So we'll take this off. And we'll have this guy fire again at him. So this time it's just a 2. I don't have any powers. We'll draw two cards. Hit. Hit. 2 extra hits will destroy this unit. I probably was supposed to reveal this, actually, after they got hit last time. So let me do that now, since I forgot. I drew a 2x, so there would be 2 units then. So let me draw 2. Come on. Oh, here, this goes out. Draw this one, RPD, and that one. Rifle and an RPD. We'll say we were targeting the rifle, I guess. So that goes there. They are not shaken, and this unit is destroyed. They're now revealed. Okay. And he gets a fired marker again. And now we'll have this guy fire at him, and he only gets 1. Wait, do I have a fire card before I go and say that I'm doing that? I do not. We'll take a fast move. And we're going to move this guy into the better cover. So he gets a moved marker. And we got 2 left. All right, back to them. Draw a card. Red triangle. So red is this. So we'll draw, so what do they have? They have fire again. I guess they can see here. Well, yeah, they can see over this because they're elevated. So they can see here, and I screwed that up, I think. Target largest. They're all rifle units. They are in, they're not in cover. So a rifle unit's going to get reduced and shaken. So we need to flip this guy, put a shaken marker on him, and then this guy, and they're all fired. Now he's fired, so he's done. And goes back to us. We have 2 cards to draw. We get a fire card, and we get a move card as well. Let's go 1, 2. And then because we're on a road, I think we can move here, which is 2 units, in 2 hexes in range. So I'm playing this card. And they're going to take opportunity fire. So the way we decide if they do it is we pull a card, and it says op fire under random event. So they do take op fire. So they're going to shoot here. So their firepower is a 2. The range is 2. They are an RPD. At range 2, they get a +1. So they're going to have a firepower of 3. The cover on the bridge, oh, it's 1 on a road, I guess. So it goes back to a 2. And I forgot to take that here. So that would actually reduce their hits by 1. So I'm going to unreduce this guy because I didn't realize they get a cover factor of 1 on the road. Because I assumed it would be clear. They get, so 1, so they get 2, they would get 2, but we don't worry about that because we're looking at the result on here. So they have cover. It's 2 and reveal. Now, they're already revealed, but it's 2 hits. So he gets shaken and reduced. But I can play first fire. Eligible units fire and an enemy unit that is firing on it resolve simultaneously. So before he loses that, he's got 2 as well. So we're going to draw 2 cards for him as well. I'm going to put the shaken marker on him. Now we'll draw 2 cards. We get a red, that's nothing, and a green, which is a hit. So he gets shaken as well, but not reduced. And that completes the turn because nobody has any active eligible units left. We can't do the reserve phase. We just move on to the next turn after I remove all the markers. I have to discard one of my cards, so I will discard this one. And we'll start the next turn here with turn number 4. And that's going to wrap this video because I don't want it to go too long. But we did get 2 full turns. You did get to see, oh, before I do that, this was in line of sight as soon as he hit this hex, so I need to resolve that. So you're supposed to read the event for the crisis resolution. Read the paragraph, make your choice. Remove the crisis marker. Okay, so we're going to remove this. You see people run through the crops toward the hill behind. You can't tell if they're mujahideen or civilians. One of them carries something. Is that a hoe or a light machine gun? Should you kill these runners? So we're supposed to read paragraph 142. You choose to fire, it's 137. Your bullets cut the Afghans down. I'm choosing to fire. Why not, right? The Soviets would have probably fired. Let's not kid ourselves. The bullets cut the Afghans down, sending the Mujahideen that witnessed the killing into a righteous fury. For the remainder of the scenario, +1 HEF is added to any Mujahideen attack, or an unrevealed MM does 1 additional hit. So, I think I'll take the +1 HEF. But now I'm going to wrap the video. So that is the end of this video. You got 2 full turns of this scenario. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of this game. And again, as always, if you would like to, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. So this guy goes on the bottom because he's shaken. The other 2 are not. Put Glucov on top. They stay shaken. They're revealed and shaken. They also fired, but I didn't put the marker on it, so it's no big deal. And then this goes away as well. And I think that's it. That's it. So we're now ready for the next turn. So anyway, like I said, we're done for now with this video. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Please consider liking, sharing, and or subscribing. I always appreciate that. And yeah, that'll do it. So until next time, as always, I'm Joe. This is the Hexed Encounter channel, and happy gaming.